Four players with a lot to prove this year from the Browns. This is from Dawg Pound Daily. They go David Njoku, tight end. Linebacker Jacob Phillips was banged up, injured most of last year, at least the beginning part of it. Donovan Peoples-Jones, wide receiver who kind of stepped up and then maybe plateaued towards the end of the year. And Grant Delpit, with the most proved safety, missed all of his rookie season with that Achilles injury. G. Bush, when you look at those, which of those four guys do you think takes the biggest jump? Who are you excited to see?
I think Grant Delpit by far will take the biggest jump. I think what you'll see with Grant Delpit is I started to like what they did with him. There were some games they had him in the box. He looked explosive, coming off the edge, hitting guys in the backfield, tackles for loss, getting his hands on the football. I thought he played a tremendous game against the Minnesota Vikings. I thought he did a good job in that game. I think he was just getting to his point where we started to see at one point in time. Grant Delpit, by the way, is probably one of the most highly decorated guys when it comes to high school, college, and him being at one point in time, he was looked at as one of the game changers at safety, like, you know, when he was coming out of college. I think he had an ankle injury that kind of slowed him down at LSU. Then he has the Achilles here. I think this year you're going to see the real Grant Delpit. Anytime you have those injuries, right, Achilles heel or something like that, I've had 2 ACL surgeries. ACL, yeah, you guys can get back within 6 to 8 months, but you got to think about it. That's just to get back on baseline. That's not improving your game. That's not getting faster. That's not reading and reacting better. That's not getting that's just getting back to where you were. So everybody else who had a year to practice, they're not worried about rehabbing. They're getting faster, stronger, watching film and working on their game. You're just trying to get back to where you were as a baseline. So last year, that was status quo. It was just like, hey, I'm trying to get out here. My goal is to get through the season without being injured. Now this year is where you could put that work in. You were training in the off season. You've been in the film work. You got your personal trainer. Your nutrition is right. Now you should be able to see the Grant Delpit. I think that's going to be a playmaker, not just in the right spot, but a playmaker in terms of the passing game and down in the box making some tackles. I think he's going to be the guy that's going to really pop this year for the Cleveland Browns.
He's a guy that's versatile. You can blitz him. You saw it. I love him when he comes on blitzes. I'm with you. I like he can do a lot of things. Let me ask you about David Njoku. It just kind of seemed like they didn't take advantage of what he can do. When I look at David Njoku, I'm like, man, how do you cover that guy? You put a safety on him, he's going to outmuscle him. You put a linebacker on him, he's going to outrun him. What do you do?
You know, I think David Njoku has come a long way, right? I think his stats haven't really bear or to show that how much of a better player that he is nowadays. I think when he first got in the league, he couldn't block anybody. I mean, he's not the greatest blocker in the world right now, but he's a better blocker. I thought he had trouble catching the ball as well, too. He would make the spectacular catch, but then he would let a ball get into his body, hit his face mask, dropped a lot of easy targets. I think now he's a much more different player. I think he's a better player. And I think that what you'll see is now they'll start to feature him on certain things. I think he's a tight end. If you look at it, he's a tight end that he should be getting 1,000 yards. They should come tell him, look, man, you're one of those guys. You should be watching, tape of guys who have been getting 1,000 yards in this league. Antonio Gates of the world, guys that know how to use their body, guys who aren't as fast, who isn't athletic, who isn't as big, who can't jump as high, but they know how to get open. If he can learn how to get open and catch the balls that he's supposed to be where he's supposed to, Deshaun Watson will find him. I think that this will be a breakout year. Now, the question is, if he does have a breakout year, is he a guy that the Cleveland Browns are willing to extend? That is, to me, that is the question, the $1 million question. How much is it worth if he does have a breakout year? Because quietly kept, the Cleveland Browns just keep paying top 5 guys at their position. I want to see how much they value. And Kevin Stefanski likes tight ends. They did get rid of Austin Hooper. So are they willing to invest long term if he does have a breakout year?